Hi you guys, my name is Cherita. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be discussing part 1 of the Beautiful Life of Jeffree Star docuseries. I know there's already like a plethora of videos out there, but I just wanted to give my take from part 1, and I will be watching every single episode, and I will be recapping every single episode. So if you're interested in this video, go ahead and keep watching. Before I get started, make sure you click subscribe for new content regularly, and don't forget to click the notification bell so that you are Kiwi crate box for Miles. Where was I? Oh, don't forget to click the notification bell so that you are notified every single time I post a video. We're just gonna start from the beginning. Now, I did watch the trailer for this docuseries, but I literally had no idea what to expect from it. I didn't get any like vibes from the trailer. It was just music and then like clips and nobody really talking. So I was like, I don't know where this docuseries is going. I do know that in the past, Shane did say he wanted to talk about how like the ins and outs of the beauty community and this, that, and the other. I literally went into this blind. At least I feel like I went into this blind. So the video started, and for the first like 20-25 minutes, it legit was a snooze fest, subjectively. I'm not a fan of Shane. I'm most definitely not a fan of Jeffree Star, but I think the only way that you could have appreciated the first 20 to 25 minutes is if you are a fan of Shane, and that's that. Like literally the first 25 minutes, he kind of recapped what happened in the last docuseries. He was talking about his personal life. He was talking about how he's insecure about himself. He was talking about how he was afraid to fly, and it was just a lot of like Shane Dawson, which if you like Shane, you probably enjoyed it. He was, riding in a go-kart, playing with his dogs. If you like that kind of stuff, then you would have liked it. I was just not here for how slow this took off. The other docuseries, they literally just jumped right into it, and it caught your attention from the beginning, whether you were a Shane/Jeffree fan or not. At least it did, in my opinion. I do want to talk about some of the things that happened within that first 25-ish minutes. So the first thing that really caught my eye was how Shane Dawson was complaining about how he's poor, he's broke, hanging out with Jeffree makes him feel poor and like he can't afford things. And I'm thinking, like, you're saying this all while living in Calabasas in a whole ass mansion. How much money Jeffree makes does not take away from the fact that you're still rich, Shane. Like that, it was just one of those things where he was trying to be relatable, which I get. Try to be relatable, but you're literally complaining about these things while sitting in a mansion while people are out here struggling to pay their bills. They're struggling to put food on their table. Like, people are truly broke, and you're comparing yourself to all these other YouTubers, and you're comparing yourself to Jeffree Star, which YouTube isn't Jeffree's only means of money. He's got a makeup line. He also has property. Like, Jeffree Star is a businessman. So for you to try to compare yourself is like, I get where you're going with it, but at the same time, like, you are still rich. You're still rich. So for you to sit there and complain, it was just, I couldn't follow along with it, couldn't get on board with it. I was just kind of like, I guess. And it reminded me of Kevin Hart when he told a joke in his stand-up, like one of his stand-ups, and he was like, I'm rich. And he's not afraid to admit it because he is. He's like, I'm rich, but I'm not athlete rich. The way, the way my bank account is set up and blah, blah. You guys know the joke, but that's just what it reminded me of. Like, Shane, you're rich, but you're not Jeffree Star rich. It still does not take away from the fact that Shane Dawson is rich. Hate to say it, but it needed to be said. Then the other thing is he always has like those same self-deprecation type jokes. Oh my God, people make fun of me because I'm fat. And I understand that he has some kind of body dysmorphia or body image problems or something like that. But when you are at a big age of 30 something, complaining about it isn't gonna do anything. He's remaining relatable to younger people. And he's like, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that. Okay, well then do something about it. Like there's a point in your life where you can't just complain about it and the jokes aren't funny anymore. It's like, just do something about it, please. Those were just the 2 takeaways from the first like 20 to 25 minutes. So then we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, which was Jeffree Star and Shane flying out to Sacramento, where I happen to reside, and they did like a Morphe store opening or whatever. Now, the Morphe store had been opened before Jeffree and Shane even came out to Sacramento to do like the grand opening or whatever. How do I know? Because I've been to that Morphe store. I went to the Morphe store after their first docuseries when I was Goop the House. And if you guys have ever heard me talk about Jeffree, you guys know that after the first Shane Jeffree docuseries, I definitely went through that, oh, poor, woe is me, woe is Jeffree, I feel so bad for him. I went to the Morphe store. I just know that it was open before then. So anyways, they're on the plane, they're talking hee kiki, ha ha, cuckoo, whatever. And I mean, there was just like a lot of filler. There wasn't a lot of substance to this intro video. It was really just like a lot of filler. They did introduce his bodyguard, which from what I've seen on Twitter, apparently everybody thinks he's super hot. You got to see his assistant, you got to see his makeup artist, you got to see his hairstylist. So it was just a lot of oh, here's this person, here's that person. Shane did mention something along the lines of working for Jeffree Star or being part of Jeffree Star's entourage. It's like being in the mafia because we all wear his clothes or something along the lines of that. We get into the meat and potatoes, they get into Sacramento, and they show Shane Dawson's room, and then Shane, I guess, gets settled in, and then he goes to Jeffree Star's room, which he had the presidential suite, and then you walk in and it was kind of like, look what I can afford, which I'm not mad, because if you can afford it, then do it. But it was just a lot of like, look what I can afford. And I want to say during that time is where a little bit of tea was spilled. So what happened was Jeffree's makeup artist, Nicole, got a call, and on the screen it said Cutie Cameron. And Shane goes, oh, is that Cameron Dallas? And Jeffree Star immediately goes, stop it. And then Shane goes, so-and-so, because they bleeped it out, and then they put the word influencer, tried to have intercourse with Cameron, didn't they? Ha 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 ha. Well, if you follow any of this beauty drama, you know that when James Charles read Jeffree Star's text messages to him, it was Jeffree Star was saying like, this person's gonna come on camera, this person's gonna come on camera, and then it was like, Cameron's gonna come on camera and say how you did this, and that. So now everybody is like kind of putting 2 and 2 together and saying, oh, well, that must be the Cameron that Jeffree was talking about in those text messages to James. We don't know if Cutie Cameron is Cameron Dallas, because as soon as it said Cutie Cameron, Shane goes, oh, who's that, Cameron Dallas? And so, I mean, that was just like a little bit of shade, a little bit of tea, a little bit of whatever. I feel like this will probably come up again. I don't know. So then the next day they go to the mall, and okay, so one of my friends was asking me, hey Cherita, is Sacramento a diverse area? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, well, I think it's funny how there were no black people at that mall, wanting to see Jeffree. And I was like, it's funny because Arden Fair Mall on any other day is filled with nothing but black people. I know this probably doesn't mean anything to anybody, but it just goes to show that like people of color or black people who just are not checking for Jeffree Star, because that mall itself, I promise you, on any other day is filled with black people. I think the best part of the video was the whole Morphe store part, just because it felt like a vlog, and it was like, oh, come with us, and look at the people who get to take pictures with us, and blah 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 blah. And it wasn't bad, but I just don't feel like there was enough substance in that video for somebody who's not a fan to appreciate. Because again, I watched the last series and I liked the last series just because there was substance. But I think this first video, you just really had to be a fan of Shane and or Jeffree to really like it. And I just felt like it was just dragged on for way too long. And I know I'm not the only person that thinks this, because I have seen other comments of people going, it was boring, I tapped out, I couldn't finish it. What I'm saying is not coming from a place of hate. It's literally like, I just was not interested for like the first 20 minutes and then like the last like 5 minutes. I mean, other than that, I don't think there was much else. Some people say they like the music. I wasn't a fan of the music. Some people said it was perfect. I didn't think it was perfect. I mean, everybody has their own opinions, but I just didn't feel like this was a typical Shane Dawson docu-series. I felt like it was more of a glorified vlog. I just hope that the series continues to pick up, because at this point, I'm just like, give us something so that we want to come back. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I watched it, so you guys didn't have to. Let me know if you watched it, what you guys think about it in the comments below. If you didn't watch it, let me know what you think about my perspective if you've watched other people and what they've had to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. That helps me out a lot. Also, do not forget to link up with me on my social media. I'm very active on Twitter, so let's be friends. And until my next video, I'll see you guys later. Bye!